Well, welcome back to When Gaming Podcast, where when we play games, we talk games. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Fitzgerald, and with me, as always,
It's Matt Vieira. What's going
today
on, Ryan?
man, it's good. We're getting things rolling, and people are interested, which is always nice.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but today we're going to be playing Apex Legends, another battle royale, and we can kind of get into that more later. Um, But just wanted to kind of do a little trying to figure out how the intro is going to work. Everything's still a work in progress. Um, but yeah, so we'll start a game up and then we can kind of get into the show.
Yeah, let's go. I've been like mentally, I think, psyching myself out all week, thinking about talking and playing at the same time. Because it's like first half of the podcast is kind of it's dodgy because I'm trying to play and we're trying to talk about the news and stuff, but I like it. It's like mental gymnastics, and I'm
It,
into
it,
it. I'm into it.
yes, it is mental gymnastics. It's good. Hey, you know what? It's making our brains stronger. So
Yeah, I'm
uh,
going
it's always
Pathfinder
good.
because I feel like riding a zip line today.
All
I
right,
feel like
I mean
zipping around.
Bangalore. So we'll see, depending on what this
That's
person chooses. All right.
Bangalore is usually my go-to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
yeah,
Good to know. Okay. So, I guess let's talk about Apex Legends real fast, and let's just do kind of what your thoughts on the game are, since that's what we're playing.
yeah, yeah. This is gonna come back around later in the podcast, probably, or I mean, we can just talk about it now. But Apex Legends is what I'm playing. This is pretty much taking over. Um, my like if I'm gonna play something, I pop in Apex Legends. I just the battle royale genre when it's good like this, it's just great because we can, you can jump into a game, you can jump out of a game. A game can be as fast as 30 seconds, if you drop in the wrong spot, and you just jump right back in, or you can go for a 15, 20-minute marathon and like you get down to the final few and like I haven't felt the heart pounding, pressure in a battle royale game since PUBG, and this replicates that. This is the closest thing to replicating what I felt when we were first playing PUBG when he was like really big. Me and my friends, and my brother. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, see, I haven't played it much lately. I used to play it a ton with my buddies when it first came out. It's one of those games where you really can go from 100 to nothing real quick, or you could be here for quite a while and not get any action. So I
And
think
it's
it's definitely one of those types of games.
definitely for sure. Yeah, I sometimes I find myself wanting the shorter games. Sometimes I'll jump on and I'll be like, I'm not here to get top. I mean, I'm not here to win. I mean, I'm always here to win, but like some matches, I'm like, I'm gonna drop in a hot spot, and I know I'm gonna get into a firefight as soon as I, get boots on the ground. But sometimes that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for confrontation immediately. So
Yeah, you're
it's
looking
fun
for
like
that
that.
that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, and when a game is good and combat is good, you look for that. Like I remember in PUBG when it was first out, like it's like yeah, you wanted combat, but a lot of times you wanted to get yourself situated because there was bugs, it was glitchy, it was a little janky when it first came to console, all that stuff. But with this,
Yeah.
it works, and you want to come down swinging and kicking and punching and all that. Yeah,
Definitely, punching in this game is definitely an interesting concept. I think the combat, just like melee hand to hand, is very different. I don't know
yes,
why. Just it feels so much different to me in this game than any other game.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, all right. So yeah, I don't know. For me, my kind of impressions of this game is awesome game. I applaud it for everything that it does. I've just kind of started falling away from battle royales, and I don't know. I just like how you said you can sit there and you could be in the middle of a combat. That's how you can play. You can jump in and be in the middle of a firefight right away, or you could end up not seeing anybody for 30 minutes, and then you
Yeah.
die because some guy he just snuck up on you, and it's like, oh, come on. But I do
Yeah.
still find them. Uh, they're still very entertaining, and they're good ways to spend your nights with friends. Especially, I can't play these games alone, but playing with friends, oh yeah, I can play all night, man. It's because it's always different. You never you like, oh hey,
Mhm.
we've dropped here so many times. let's go somewhere else. And okay, let's do that. So
Yeah.
I do like that aspect of it. That aspect of it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we got to see tag somebody, or oh, he's
that
beating up
wasn't me. That
somebody.
was,
One of our
yeah.
teammates. Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you. Let's go. I think he knocked someone down. I mean, that means
I
it's
don't know.
someone really close. But anyway, yeah. So I definitely agree with you. And I was thinking about this the other day. I used to talk. I used to had a friend in my old job that I used to when cell phones and smartphones were like really starting to get good, and like you had Samsung and you had Apple and you had a few other smaller companies trying to leapfrog each other and like who would have the next best thing. It reminds me of the battle royale genre right now. It's like who is gonna one up. What's going to be new and great on this battle royale game versus the last one, and who's going to update theirs to match and that kind of stuff. And so like the pinging system in this game, and I don't know if you're familiar. I know you haven't played that much, but the pinging system in this game is what sets this game apart. I mean, the play is great, it's smooth, but the ping system is what sets it out for me. Like if I don't feel like playing with a headset, I don't have to play with a headset. Like right now, we're in a party
Nope.
chat, and our third squad member doesn't need to hear us talking. Like they don't need it. We can ping them. We can tell them where enemies are. We can tell them where equipment is. They can tell us where equipment is. It's just great.
That
And I
is
think
something that
and
is game
yeah,
changing.
yeah. And you see Fortnite adding it. So Fortnite,
Yeah,
the
which cracked me up.
yeah, I mean the juggernaut really in this whole battle royale genre. You know, for a while, and now that means there must be something to it. So
Yep.
I just thought that was something
No, I
cool
do.
about it.
I thought I loved when I saw that, and it's like, oh hey, look, Night was out, or Apex was out for what 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden Fortnite comes out with a update, adding,
Yeah,
and they didn't call it a ping system. They called, of course they retagged it, but it's
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
no, it's a ping system. It's exactly the same thing
yeah,
Apex just
yeah.
did. Granted, hey, yeah, you know what? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. They came up with something that is really good. So why would you want
Right,
to,
don't mess with it.
try to? Yeah, don't mess with it. There's no need. So. I did like that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him some trouble just because I like to hate on Fortnite now just because it's so big and I'm just one of those guys. But at the same time, you're like, okay, you know what? They're definitely doing something right because
Yeah.
of the popularity that they are. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
so
happy to be
since
playing tonight. I'm happy to be playing tonight with you. I'm hoping that I'll this will like catch you, like throw a little bug in you, and you'll want to play a little more. I'm hoping.
yeah,
Oh
I know.
yes,
Yeah,
Peacekeeper.
that's uh, dude, I really do enjoy playing these types of games. They are so much fun, especially like I said, when you play with a friend. The game is 10 times different than if you're playing solo. But like you did say, again, kind of repeating ourselves. It's it's still so much fun to play alone because of the ping system. Like you don't need to,
Yes.
if you really don't want to talk, you don't have to talk.
Yeah. There's some
So
games where if you
it
don't
just
talk, you can't play. Like Overwatch. Like
no. Oh yeah,
Overwatch like
no.
is very team based, and you need to be constantly talking to your team. So it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. So there's a lot of a lot of games that you do require a ton of talking, and this one you don't
Yeah.
if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Don't
So
have to.
I do really enjoy that.
I don't think I've
Yes.
ever landed in this area. I gotta be honest. I don't
No,
think
this
I've
is my
ever, or
this is
like,
my favorite. This is my favorite area.
I don't really think I've been like I think I've been to relay just like dropping and running out, but I don't think I've ever like explored this area.
Dude, this is my favorite place to land. So we are in Wastelands for those on the podcast and not watching our stream. So the very back north. What is this? North east corner of the map. So
Survey beacon here.
I do like the whole hero shooter type of gaming.
Mhm.
So like you're Pathfinder, so you can if you like I just pinged that uh what's it called little radar beacon thing so that you can go and use it and show us the next circle, which is I think is
Oh
like
yeah,
that's
we're
a really cool little passive. It's over. I just marked it again for you.
all right. I got it.
So
Yeah,
I
that
do
is
like
that
that
is
about
really
this
cool.
game. Yeah. So yeah. So again, that's kind of our thoughts on On Apex Legends, I know. So before we kind of you got started, Matt, you said there was a little bit of breaking news. Now we're kind of getting into the news section. So you added
Yes.
this. You added this literally, I guess, 5 minutes before we got on. So what's the breaking news?
So the breaking news is that Halo Reach, and this was rumored for a little bit, Halo Reach is coming to the Master Chief Collection. Now I don't know if you dabble in the Master Chief Collection or in Halo in general, but it's a big deal because the Master Chief Collection when it came out was like this holy grail item. It's like it's all of the most of the Halos, all the campaigns. This is really robust multiplayer, even though the multiplayer was a little busted when it first came out. But now they're adding Reach, which was never Halo Reach was never included in the Master Chief Collection, and now they're adding it, and which is a big deal. And it's also going to be in 4K. It's going to have HDR. It's going to have 60 frames a second. It says on Xbox One it's going to have 60 frames a second. I'd be curious to see. That's probably the X, I would assume. And it's going to be on
Yeah.
PC, and which is also big news because today also I think today it got announced, but the Master Chief Collection is also going to be on PC, which is the first
I
time
saw that.
that it is going to be on PC, which is that's definitely big. That's big news, definitely. The first Halo game on PC. So
Okay. So yeah.
yeah,
So I'm not the biggest um well I'm not the biggest Halo guy. I tried playing it, so again, I didn't have an Xbox growing up.
Mhm.
My console was PlayStation. So
Mhm.
I never played Halo. I didn't play that. I think the first Halo I played maybe was Halo 4, maybe.
Oh, really,
I
really?
don't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
remember. So yeah, I didn't even when I had when I got my Xbox 360, I don't think I got Halo. I think I might have gotten a Halo there, maybe, but which wasn't my
yeah,
thing. Playing Call of Duty all my life, pretty much.
yeah.
Going to a different type of shooter, I just never played it. I do think when I got one of my Xboxes, I did get the Master Chief Collection at the time of what it was, the very first iteration.
Mhm.
So I had everything. So I did end up playing a few of the games with some friends who were like, "Oh no, man, you have to play a Halo game." And I was like, "Do I really have to, or are you just telling me I have to?" type of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I played. I played some of the campaigns. I played them on heavier difficulties, so that'd be a little more fun, with friends. Because when you play a game with some friends, it makes the game a little bit easier. So I did that, and that's really all my dabble in Halo. Just never got into it. I don't know. I think it was just the PlayStation side of me never really hooked onto it. And as people ranted and raved about it, I was like, it's just another shooter. So
Yeah. It definitely like I think I understand where you're coming from on how you might have just like missed the boat on it. Like when I got Xbox for Christmas the year that Xbox first came out. So obviously my first game was Halo, like for the Xbox. And it just like that changed really the game for me as far as first person shooters go. I think I played a few on PlayStation and but Halo was really the first time that like since like GoldenEye on N64 that I was like,
mm,
wow, like first person shooters this is amazing. Like this is awesome. So Halo was big to me, and when I bought an Xbox One pretty late in its. I think I got it in 2016. The Xbox One. And when I
yeah,
bought it, it came with a free download code for Master Chief Collection, which when I first got my Xbox, that's all I needed for months and months. I mean, I played every campaign for it. I beat all through. Like matchmaking was a little wonky at first for online, but it was fun to play with. You could sit with like I could sit with a friend at home and play co-op, or I could play online co-op, or we could sit side by side on the couch and play online multiplayer, which is pretty unheard of these days as as a feature for a game, like being able to play with someone next to you and play online all together, like split screen online. Like that's not a
yeah,
thing. So that was fun. Like that was always fun to play that. Yeah, so I'm excited for this. And Halo Reach is not my favorite Halo, but them adding stuff to the Master Chief Collection now, this late in it, like when it came out, means they still want to support it. Means that it has a future, and that's exciting for me.
yeah. That is good.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of talk about the new Halo coming out and what it's going to be and what it's all going to entail and everything. And so it's interesting to see the transformation of games nowadays too. I think I was reading something during the week about just everything is gonna be a game for service almost. Like that's just the way
Yeah,
that the world is turning to. So you kind of have to. And so I'm wondering if they're kind of setting up the groundwork. I don't know. Again, I don't really know Halo all that well, so I don't really know everything. But I mean,
yeah,
it's a possibility, I guess, is that they're going to be setting the groundwork for these games by adding these other games. And hey, look, we're actually going to be working on them. Like we're making them
yeah,
better. We're making these games better that you loved back then, and look, we're still doing it. And so it's
yeah,
not a real game for service as what it's defined as right now, but it is the footing for, hey, yeah, we're going to be doing a game for service because look, the game that you played 10 years ago, we're making better. We're adding to it. It's a little late to the boat, but hey, we're here.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I totally agree. I think that Halo Infinite, the next one that's coming out in the iteration, we don't know much about it, but I know there are rumors that it will be more games as a service versus traditional Halo games. So that I think where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think that's the way that kind of like the shooter genre is going. And I think that there's ways that they can make Halo a looter shooter, but not like go full looter shooter. Kind of like hybrid it, and still keep everybody happy and keep like the Halo campaign that people love. Even though Halo 5 kind of lacked, I will agree with that. I'm sure people are shouting at their computers. The Halo 5 didn't have a great campaign, but I think that they'll hopefully rebound in Infinite and really make the game like the game it needs to bring Halo into the next like step in its iteration and in its future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, I don't think I ever played Halo 5 at all, so I've
It,
not a
it, it's
clue
Yeah, I mean,
about it.
there's better Halo games to go back and play. Halo 2 is a masterpiece, and Master Chief Collection includes the anniversary, not the anniversary edition, the remastered version, which is like what like everybody holds as the gold standard for like competitive esports. Halo is Halo 2.
Okay.
So that's and they play Halo 5 is played very competitively right now, but Halo 2 is kind of like the gold standard. I think everybody would agree.
Okay.
Well,
I
we are
see.
pretty deep in this game right now. There's only 4 squads left, Ryan. There's
Yeah, we haven't
only
seen a single
4 squads
person,
left.
and we
Not
haven't seen a single person.
Not a
So
single person.
we landed at the right area because the ring is just keep closing around us. Which again,
Yeah.
that's another thing I don't like about battle royales. There's so much luck involved. Like right now,
Oh.
this is all luck.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm loaded out. I'm kitted out with
Yeah.
2 heavy weapons with kind of everything I could wish for except for maybe one thing. And we're just chilling, man. We're just waiting for someone to come in our crosshairs because we have the edge of the map. So this will be an interesting one.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Very, very cool. To switch gears,
Well,
talking about from Xbox a little bit, I want to talk just quickly about PlayStation 4 and the interesting new stuff they got going on there. Well, not really new, but they introduced remote play to iOS devices this week. And so I'm
I
not.
saw
Are you
that.
familiar with? Are you familiar with? Like, it's. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. The remote play, you can play your. Oh, someone. That's a computer-generated one.
Yep.
You can go grab it. I'll cover it if you want. I don't think anybody's coming
Hell
over
no,
here.
man. I ain't going there. Kidding me? What, the last circle? I ain't going for it. I'm
that's
sniping it.
very true. Yeah, wait for them to come around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
so they introduced the iOS. This was something that you could already do on a Mac. I'm not sure about a P. Oh, there's someone right there. Can we take him out?
oh yeah.
Let's do it.
So yeah.
Drop your ult over there. Let's or throw it
Yep.
in their direction.
But I did. I
Here
saw
we
that
go.
they were going to add it was a PlayStation app that you could stream your PlayStation to your what was it? Your phone basically. But
Yeah.
it was different because it was
I'm
Dang it, you
down.
got a guy right here.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm down too. Dang.
Where's our squad mate?
I have no idea where he went. I think he's sitting up there sniping.
Oh.
But yeah, no. So I read that article, and it was you can stream your PlayStation to your phone,
Yeah.
but you have to be on Wi-Fi, from what I found, at least what I saw,
Yes.
and then you can't connect a controller. So I guess my question to you is, what are your thoughts on playing a game where, like, right now we're using a controller, playing that game with a touchpad like controls, like the touchpad controls that just suck. Like I've yet to ever play a game that had good touchpad controls.
Yeah, you can't. I would never. Like, there would be a very small usage situation. It's not bad. Hey, top four, whatever we got. Anyway, there's a very small usage situation that I would use remote play for playing a game with touch controls. Like, it would have to be a game that is, an indie game that only uses the D-pad and a couple buttons. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to
Yeah.
be something that, or if I wanted to get into my PlayStation, like, and download a game before I got home, like, just get in there and do some, like, maintenance stuff, like, download something, delete something, make room for something on my PlayStation for a new game that's coming out. The controller support is a big issue, but there are workarounds. There are some Bluetooth controllers that have the same buttons as a PlayStation 4 controller that you can use Bluetooth with an iOS device. You just can't use a PlayStation 4 controller, which is really unfortunate because a PlayStation 4 controller
Okay.
is a very good controller, and it's tuned for the games that you play it with it. You use it for. You can use it remote play on a PC because you can plug USB directly into your computer and pair it with your computer, but for some reason you cannot pair PS4 controller to your iOS device. So tablets, iPads, and iPhones.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's interesting. I
yeah,
didn't know that there were controllers at all. I didn't. I just thought, like, there are no controllers, but I didn't know. You said that
yeah,
there are some. Pardon me. There are some controllers. Which
yeah. So if you go,
that bridges the gap a little bit.
yeah, I found out on YouTube. There's a YouTuber, Kevin Kedison. I don't. I don't know. That's a tongue twister. Kevin Kenson. He does a lot of gaming videos, and he covered the whole remote play situation. And he was using a Bluetooth controller with his iPhone. So
Okay.
yeah. So but he did explain that the
Interesting.
PlayStation 4 controller will not work. It's unfortunate. Like I said, the only time I'll really use this if I have to use touch controls is if it's maintenance, or like next time I'm on the road traveling for work, I may bring my iPad. I usually do, and maybe I'll invest in one of those Bluetooth controllers and see how it works. Or maybe for the first time, I'll use the touch controls, see how the connection is, and then go from there. And then maybe get a control. Because then, like, all those times I'm traveling for a week and a half. I'm like
Hmm.
itching to bring a console. Do I want to bring my Xbox? Do I want to bring my PlayStation? And then, with this, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll bring my iPad and I'll give it a shot. I'll try and play like something that's like low stakes. Like, I can't play Apex Legends like this.
No.
It's not gonna work. It's
Yeah.
not. I won't be competitive. If it's something fun, a single player campaign, maybe like Hollow Knight or something like that. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I see that as the real utility for it. I know
Yeah.
someone referenced, like, oh, playing Assassin's Creed on your iPad, and I'm like, still, again, why? I've never played the Assassin's Creed, even though I want to. It's on my backlog.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I would never want to play that kind of game because there's no way that the graphics port that well either. So
Yeah.
it's, again, like, I think what I saw is that you have to be on Wi-Fi, and that and it's on its own kind of makes it more difficult. I see. Like, it's like, okay, well, you can't just be sitting in the car like on your Switch and you're playing something. You
Yeah.
got to be at the hotel.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there is that little downside, but again, it is, there's gonna be, I think this is their response to the xCloud idea that Microsoft
Sure.
came out with, where
Yeah.
and how, what is it, 2 weeks GDC is, and they're
Yeah.
going to be announcing something about Xbox app on a Switch. So
Yeah.
really, it's in 2 weeks. That's what we'll know is what Xbox's counter to this game to this is, which will be very interesting. I'm actually really
Yes.
excited for GDC. Never
Yeah.
heard of it until this year, and I'm like, I wish I was going. I wish I could be there, kind of thing. You
Yeah,
know.
it's pretty cool.
So
I've only just recently learned about GDC as well. But yeah, this is not a new technology. Like I said, I could do this on my MacBook, 3 years ago. And they're just bringing it now to iOS. It kind of seems like it's like a last ditch effort to kind of like stay in the news as Microsoft unveils these new things.
yeah,
That's what I think about
so
that.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I kind of do too. Again, I think it's a lot of we're gonna have to wait to see the response from, or what is xCloud. I think that's what's going to be interesting is what is xCloud, and then let's go from there to see what what this PSN. They even have a name for it, or is it just
It's
a PlayStation iOS
Yeah,
compatibility?
it's remote share. It comes with the update 6.5.
Okay.
There's no real when you download the app. Oh, we got a teammate down. And I have no gun, so this should be fun. I'm punching. Hey, there we go.
There we go.
Kill him.
I don't have it. I have crappy guns.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just called stream
Okay.
remote play.
Okay.
Yes.
So again, they're not very. I think last episode we talked about the creative ideas of Xbox with renaming the Xbox Maverick to, well, what was it? The Xbox One S, all digital edition, whatever it is.
Yes. Yeah. It really rolls off the tongue.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really fun. All right.
Yeah. We got guys. Okay. So actually, this next one that you have on the list on the news,
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to talk about
Yeah, it's
because
pretty
it's definitely interesting. So it's this. What do you it's a portable, basically a portable desktop, is how I
Yeah.
would define it.
cool. Yeah,
Honestly,
they're calling it the ultimate LAN desk. It's called the Uneven One, and it's being developed by these two guys. And basically, it's a desk, like a gaming desk, an electric rising up and down desk that is also your computer, which also houses your monitor, which also has built-in accessories, I/O ports. It's basically your one-stop shop for your next LAN party. I can remember going to LAN parties when I was younger and lugging my desktop to these LAN parties, and I can tell you from in my monitor and all my peripherals and all that stuff, I can tell you it's not fun. This kind of like takes like the headache out of it. I mean, it is still bulky and whatever, but it's one package. You can sling it over your back, and you can carry this thing. And like go check it out. It's on Kickstarter, I believe. It's called the Uneven One. It's spelled UNEVN. One. The one spelled out normally.
yeah.
And we can link to it too on Twitter. Check out our Twitter at One Gaming. And is it at One Gaming or One Gaming Podcast?
Just One Gaming.
It's One Gaming. Check it out. It's pretty cool. It is bulky and it kind of like looks silly when the guy slings it over his back. I don't know if you saw the video. Did you see that?
No, I didn't watch the video.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see the video. Now I'll have to go back and watch the video because that'll be funny. I did see it was like 25 kilograms, and granted, okay, I don't really use the metric system very often.
Yeah.
But I did think it's kind of hefty. I feel like that's a little hefty.
Yeah, well, if you think
So-
about it, you got a full-size monitor in there. You have a monitor arm. You have all your guts of a computer. You have this aluminum desk, plus your mouse, your keyboard, all fits inside of it. It's a pretty heavy package, but it's meant to be something that like you show up to a LAN party with it slung over your back, or you can buy. They also are selling a case for it. You put it in a case and you roll up to a LAN party or to an esports tournament, and you just pop it open, and there you are. Like you're set up. Like you're good. Like you don't have to worry about any other bags, any other cables. It even like goes down to like your monitor and your PC all run off of one external power plug. So you're just plugging one power plug into the wall or into the power strip, and you're done. It's going to retail at $2,500 with no computer inside. That means you got to bring your own parts.
Yeah.
But right now on Kickstarter, you can get one for around 1,200, 1,300 bucks, and that'll give you the whole setup with a monitor arm, but no monitor, no internals, just the desk. The electronic raising up and down desk and all that, and then yeah, it just caught my eye, something cool like techie. If I was a better gamer and I was like making money playing esports, might be something that I would have, to be honest.
Yeah, and but then I love how you mentioned esports. So this is what I find interesting. So the first thing that I thought of when you, oh, he probably dropped this for you, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Let me drop this for you.
That's all good.
What I first thought of was, how do you regulate it? How do there's a reason that um, that like esports arenas, they say, hey, you can bring your own controller, you can bring your own headset, but everything else, yeah, we're gonna supply because we don't want you to cheat. And I don't know if you saw this. This was like almost 6 months ago. I guess there was a CS:GO player who was caught cheating during the event, and yeah, the people weren't happy. And it's just like,
Wow, no, I didn't
it's
see that.
because he basically had, I don't know how he did it. I'm not sure what they do, but it was like he had some hacks where it was showing him where people were, or at least like where they used to be, or something. And I don't know. Then he got caught, and so he got banned, of course. But if you have people bringing their own stuff, how are you going to regulate it? How it means you have to go through everybody's PC, and it's not just going through the PC and just going through like each little piece. No, you're gonna have to go through the code, because you can sit there and you can have some hidden USB disk or something that no one
Yeah,
can see, and only you. And so I'm like, how do you regulate this? And that's what I find. I'm like, I don't know.
that's
It's
a
a little
very good
interesting.
question, and I'm glad you brought it up because I've really realized that, or like that would have came to mind because I'm not like I do follow esports, a little bit, but that's not, and that's a huge problem for sure. Um, I wonder if like that's something that needs to be figured out on the software side of it, like if there needs to be a better system of like the server they use is better controlled, or something like that. That like then you don't really have to worry about,
Yeah.
because if someone's cheating, I feel like they will find a way to cheat even with the using someone else's computer. Like that might be a thing they can still do, is figure out a way to cheat. Whereas, oh, we gotta move, damn. Whereas if you make the system unhackable, to a point, and you kind of like you get them all on a server that's really secure, then it makes it a little easier, and then people can start using their own equipment, and then the
Yeah.
uneven one will gain speed. We'll
Yeah.
see.
So I don't know. That was just my big concern with it, was just how awesome. I think it's a great way, because it is. So I'll kind of jump ahead, but I'll come back. There's a tournament this weekend for Call of Duty, and there's actually an amateur circuit going on during the tournament, at the tournament. And the rules are, hey, you have to bring your own controller, own headset. Those are the rules. Bring your own controller, your own headset. Everything else is provided.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, okay, well, look, but hey, I don't have to bring all that. I'm just going to bring my whole PC and look, pop it up, and we're good to go. So
yeah,
I do
yeah,
find that part of it, like, that's cool. So you don't have to sit there and worry about it. You're just like, oh no, we're going. Oh yeah, here, I'll just pack it up and let's go.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you just take the whole
That's
whole
why.
whole computer with you.
Yeah, that's why I thought that was kind of a cool thing, an innovation. I'm curious to see like once it starts getting. I know this, like I follow YouTube tech reviewers a lot, and I know that this item is going to get in the hands of a lot of them. So I'm really curious to see what they think about it when it comes out. And like, it looks very well made. So I'd like to see
It
like
does. It does. It looks
again,
nice
yeah,
and slick and clean.
yeah,
So I did
yeah.
like
It
that part of it. I
does.
was like,
It
okay,
really it
yeah,
really does. Yeah. If I had that kind of spare change to just throw around, I mean, even though I'm not going to esports a lot, I might just. I mean, that's a nice all with the computer built into it. That's just kind of a cool thing, you know? I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I think of it too. If you think of it this way, you could just have it sitting in a corner, and it's like, oh, hey, I'm going to do PC gaming, and so you pull it out.
Yeah.
Like, so you
Yeah.
just like you
Right.
pop it up, and
Exactly.
it's not taking room up off your desk or in your living room, wherever you're in your office. You're like, oh no, it's sitting there behind the couch, and here I'll go pull it out, and it's a full
Yeah.
on computer that's actually capable of playing these games.
Yeah. And if
So
you live in an area where floor space and square footage is tight, like New York or another big city where your apartment can be tiny, tiny, there you go. There you go. You got
yeah,
yourself a PC you can tuck away when you're not using it. Yeah, it's
yeah,
pretty cool.
and that's I think that's a different usage
Yeah,
than what they may be even thinking of it, because that's not, they didn't mention that at all in the article. But I mean, hey, you're gonna have
yeah,
somebody. That's what I love about, I guess, like gamers and techie people, is you're gonna find a use for something when there is no use, or you're gonna find a different use for it than what was intended. And
yeah, definitely.
people do that all the time in video game, in games, or in just technology in general. And it's like, no, like, look, I made it for this reason, but hey, this guy just used it for this. That's awesome. Let's
Yep,
let's jump on and be like, let's support that guy in what he just did. So
yep. I agree. I definitely agree. Kind of,
yeah,
we're kind of in no man's land here. We had a lot of action when we first dropped. Now,
yeah,
kind of quiet. Not jinx it,
yeah,
as I
yeah.
say
Of course, don't jinx it. Um, so on the topic of kind of battle, or battle royale esque type games, the next article that we kind of looked at was the rumors of the Battlefield 5 battle royale coming out. The, what is it? I think their codename Firestorm is what they're calling it. Um,
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah.
my big thing is, I think it was there was a tutorial video came game right now. Wonder what this is. And
Yeah.
of course, okay, yeah, that's gonna be it looks like it's a tutorial for a battle royale system type of game. Now the question is, are they too late? And I think that's the question that you put in our notes was, are they too late? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many more. When is there too many, or is this the new thing, or is this just what everything's going to turn into?
Yeah, I think like not even the issue of like there's just too many battle royale games. I really think that they're just late to the party in the fact that like, their game came out. There was they didn't they stumble on their release? Like didn't they have
Very
to push
much
it
so.
back a little bit, right? I mean, Black Ops 4 came out, and I was like on Black Ops 4 as soon as it came out. I was so excited for that game. I played the beta. I was like very excited to jump back into Call of Duty, and I was never a Battlefield guy, but I do remember all my friends who are all very much Battlefield people that play bad. They love Battlefield. It stumbled out the gate. So not only are you stumbling out the gate, but now you're coming into a battle royale genre that's already kind of passed you by. Blackout is
Yeah.
is innovating. It might have got Blackout might be falling behind to Apex and Fortnite or whatever, but they are still innovating and they're still adding new things to it.
Yeah.
Uh, but with
Yep.
they're gonna have to really come in with a split. It's gonna have to be like perfect. It's gonna have to. People are gonna need they're gonna need streamers to be playing it right away. They're gonna need
Yeah.
their fan base to jump their rabid fan base, which I know they have. They need to really jump on this and run with it in order for it to succeed. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a blip on the radar, and that an echo. It's just gonna be nothing. I don't know. The
But
question is,
yeah,
the question I posed was, is it too late? And the answer is, I don't really know. But we'll see.
and then you say that they had a huge fan base, and that I get, yeah, they might have a bit of a fan base still, but they flopped so hard. Do they still have it? That's my
Yeah,
question.
that,
Is all these people, they did they actually stay? Did they go
yeah,
to Apex Legends? Did they go to these other games? What
yeah,
did I just don't know. So
yeah. I
that's
don't know.
that's my thing is, it's not too late. It's they had their chance with their followers, and the followers left. So
I'm gonna zip line over there.
yeah. Oh,
Yes, yeah.
man,
So I don't know. We'll
slapped me
see.
hard.
Ah, damn, I'm down. All right. Nice. Yeah. So Anyway, I don't. We'll see. Like I said, I was never. I don't know how you feel about. Oh no. Is that enemy? Is that friendly? Is that you?
That's
You
friendly.
dropped
That's
that
friendly.
payload. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got that. That was me.
I was never a
Try to if
Battlefield
you can
person.
walk through the portal. By the
Oh,
way,
where is it?
you can crawl through his portal.
Oh yeah.
1 second, we got this.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really a Battlefield kind of guy. I tried it. I tried it a few times. Um, just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I had some friends in high school or in college that loved it. I just not for me.
Yeah. I get that. I definitely
So
get that.
yeah, I don't know. I think again, it always comes back to Battlefield or Call of Duty might have ruined me for other games. And I posed this question to a different podcast. What game ruined other games for you? And mine is Call of Duty because I can't play it. Other shooters now really. It's just that's everything I compare it to. Granted, it's a great game, and but it's just like Apex Legends. Hey, that's not Call of Duty. Battlefield.
Yeah.
It's just not Call of Duty.
I mean,
And it's like, oh,
Call of Duty
it
is
just
super
sucks.
polished. Call of Duty is a
Yes.
super polished first-person shooter. It's the and I keep this. I use this. I'm gonna beat this saying with a dead horse, but it's the gold standard for first-person shooters. I mean, it's so tuned and well built. So yeah, I totally get that. And I never liked Battlefield either because of the large map size. That was never my kind of game.
Yeah.
I like being quick, and I like confrontation right away. Like I like to be able to jump
Yeah.
into confrontation.
Yeah, and it's been different, and other games are incorporating in this. I think this is where Battlefield was revolutionary, was the bullet drop and bullet travel time. Like they control physics into the game, and he did it. PUBG did it amazingly well to where the point where people hated the game because it was too real. I love hearing about a game like, no, the bullets just. I'm like, so you're telling me it's not a hit scan? Like, what do you mean a hit scan? I said, it's not like Call of Duty were. Like, Call of Duties aren't like this anymore. The Black Ops 4, I don't know if you knew this, Black Ops 4, it's partially hit scan, but it also still has the bullet drop. There is bullet physics in Black Ops 4 multiplayer and in the Blackout, and which is, I think, it adds a different depth to the game in a way. But PUBG did it, and people were like, "No, like my bullets just take too long to get there." And I'm like, "So they travel through the air like they should?" And yeah, and it's like, exactly, like that's a good thing. Why are you complaining? And I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like it, but it's still good. It's still fun. It makes the game more realistic. And they're like, "Oh, I guess so." It's like, yeah, you guess so. It's they incorporated an aspect of the game that's so lifelike that it makes it difficult. And I commend PUBG for doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
Battlefield's the one. Battlefield started it, and a lot of people like that stuff, and a lot of people hate it. But it just kind of it is what it is. Segueing from one battle royale. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was gonna do the same thing you're doing.
Okay.
Go for it. Segue away.
I'm trying to figure out how to. I'm still working on how do you go from one topic to the next. And I was like, well, we were talking about battle royales, So what about Apex Legends and the data miners? And I know that this article, I believe, is just about NPCs, but I don't know. So there's data miners have found code within Apex Legends saying that there is going to be NPCs within the game. I don't know what that actually means. If it's going to be like Titanfall 1, where the multiplayer was.
Like the grunts, essentially, like the people you could kill that weren't like, they were just computers, and you could get points still for killing them. Right.
Yeah, that were just there.
Yeah,
and
that's interesting.
I don't know. I hated that about. So I loved Titanfall 1. I thought it was awesome. I really liked Titanfall 1. I think they executed some things wrong, like the NPCs. But I'm like, if they add that to this game, I'm going to be really disappointed because I don't want to have to walk around. I can't even imagine that. Honestly, my mind cannot fathom the ideas of a non-player character walking around and me having to worry about that, along with the other 59 people that are in this game outside of, that aren't in my party or not.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That would be insane.
Yeah, no, there's no way. But again, hey, they've done it. This is in the Titanfall universe, so it's not, quote, out of the realm of possibility, because if they're going through what this game is, that's the universe. There are these people that they just
Yeah.
walk around and don't do anything, and they're just like a
I
free kill.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. I took it a
So,
different way. So when I heard
oh,
NPC, and I know they have a few NPC characters named supposedly. Oh God, you guys got it covered.
yep,
I'm coming to you. So when I first heard NPC, I was thinking that
you got me.
try and
It's
help
all
you.
good. What did you think by NPC?
So I thought when they said NPC, I thought they were talking about like characters throughout the map that randomly generate that maybe you could interact with. Like maybe like if you see one, they give you a shield or oh come on. All right,
Get him. There you
he's
go.
down. Yeah, so maybe it's like a person that you find on the map and they give you a special weapon, like one of the legendary weapons, or maybe it's some kind of piece of gear, or maybe they drop you in a new location. Maybe it's a drop master, and they send you back up into the ship, and you can drop somewhere, like anywhere on the map you want. But they randomly generate on the map somewhere, so you don't know where they are or where they're gonna be. Like they can just show up
Interesting.
anywhere,
I
and you can
didn't.
find them like gear. Yeah, that's kind of like what I
Huh.
thought.
That's definitely a little different than what I was thinking. I wasn't even. Huh.
Yeah, so
That
I
would be
mean
an interesting switch.
yeah. That'd be pretty. I thought that would be kind of cool. And again, I don't really know what they would do, but that is kind of like the gist of it. They're kind of like a special gear that you would find, and they would give you a cool perk, or something. Or maybe they would like spot out an enemy team for you and be like, "Hey, here's a radar that for this, for this team over here. They're running in from this way." So yeah, I don't know. That could be pretty cool. And I'm gonna have a stay woke moment here, and I don't want you guys to get out your tinfoil hats just yet. Um, but I think that the data miners, the quote unquote data miners that Titanfall, Apex Legends has, are actually it's just the respawn. I really really think the nothing builds hype like a good leak that people like. You know what I mean? Like something that like people are excited about. Like we've been waiting for the battle pass. Players of Apex
Yep.
Legends have been waiting for this battle pass for a while. They've been waiting for new characters, and this game's only been out just shy of a month. So or just like a month. And so when you
Okay.
start
So
leaking
now.
stuff, I think that maybe there's I don't know like I think maybe like there's a little bit like, respawn, leak some stuff here, throw some stuff, leak some information to somebody. Maybe it's not them, but maybe they have someone that they give information to put out on Reddit or whatever. I don't know. And it's been so spot on too. Like the map was
Well,
leaked over a year ago.
that's exactly what I was
Um,
going to talk about. That was the point
yeah,
next point I was going to make is that the map was leaked a year ago, and nobody
yeah,
believed the guy.
yeah,
Um,
right.
and people that was people's assumption. They're like, no, he worked for Respawn. That's what everyone was saying. So it's like, he got that map somehow. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
So he got that map somehow.
right.
If that's because someone gave it to him, then they have a leak in their system, or he worked there, which I find is a much higher possibility,
Yes.
personally. So hey, all these leaks, all these data miners, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not
So,
gonna,
I'm
I'm not
excited
gonna
about
put my tinfoil hat on, but I mean,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want you to. You don't want to get into the deep holes of conspiracy theories that I get into. Trust me, it's not a good time for your brain. But yeah, so I just thought that was like they're so good about. Oh, do we have people dropping?
I have no idea. Oh no, it looks like someone used their ult on
Oh, he
over
might have.
there.
I
So
think our guy might have.
no, he's down. Okay,
Uh,
they used it on him.
uh, okay, all right. Good looks.
But so I don't know if you saw this as well, and I don't know if it was in that article that I saw it. But there is data miners also found wall running in the code. So that one I'm like, That one I'd be okay with. I'm okay with the wall running. When you get into like some crazy jetpack stuff, no, not about that life. But wall running, I can be okay with. So
Yeah, I I think I'm with you. I think wall running is good. I think all the crazy stuff is a bridge too far. But yeah, I think that was such a huge part of Titanfall, like being able to
yep, we
wall
got.
run. It was huge. Oh, we got people behind us too.
No, I don't think so. I just got knocked. Oh, we got a grenade right on us though. Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh, we quit. Oh, we
But yeah,
quit.
it
Oh
was
god, they're behind us. Damn,
the
we
wall
cleared
run.
that
The wall
squad
running
too.
was a huge part of Titanfall 1. I never played the second one, even though I heard it was amazing. I think it just released at the wrong time for me, so I never
Yeah,
got it. It's actually on my backlog.
I'm actually
Uh,
surprised you got the first one because I think the first one had a terrible launch window as well. They love going up against Call of Duty and Battlefield, and they just never do well. Both launches,
mm-mm.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think it came with my Xbox or something, or I got it.
yeah,
Like that was the big
probably.
hype of the season, and so I got it as a
Yeah,
present.
yeah,
But yeah, like wall running is so fundamental within Titanfall universe. Uh, I can see it coming here. I can see a lot of people being mad about it because they like the boots on the ground, and that was a big issue with, you know, Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare and the Call of Duty franchises. Is people are like, no,
yeah,
I want boots on the ground. I don't want to be flying in the air and have to, constantly be searching the skies for somebody. Um,
yeah.
and I get that. I totally get that. But
Yes, yeah.
when it
Sometimes
falls within
that,
your lore.
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it's just when it falls within your lore. I think it's an okay thing because that's the people that are playing your game, or the people who like that stuff. People who play Battlefield because they like it. People who play Call of Duty because that's what they like. People play a Titanfall or ish-esque game because that's what they like, and that's part of the game. They're not going to
Yeah, you're
complain when
right.
that's added in.
Yep, absolutely right. It's a
So
good call. Yeah, I was always hesitant to play like so advanced. What was it? Advanced Warfare and Black
yep,
Ops 3. Uh, I never really got into those, although I did buy Black Ops 3 because it came out with all the classic zombie matches, zombie maps, and also they
yep.
put Kevin Smith in the game, so I had to get that. So I bought it just for the zombies in the zombie DLC. So yeah, so I did get into it for that, but you're right. Like, I was used to Titanfall, like jumping around, even though sometimes online matches in Titanfall 2 would turn into like, it was like a circus. I mean, it was like the trapeze artists flying above you with grappling hooks and swinging around and running and constantly running and sliding and keeping the momentum up. It was unreal. It was like you were on the track at the Daytona 500, and all these guys are flying by you. It's like the scene from Ricky Bobby when he's like standing on the track and the cars are going by him, and he's like, "Oh man, are those other cars?" And you're like, "Are those players?" Just like flying by me. So yeah, but I think I think wall running would be good. Like introduce it slow. Bring in wall running. Let that marinate for a little bit. I think though, you need to not just introduce it. I think it also needs to work with the map. I think you need to have a map
Yeah.
that supports wall running. There needs to be areas that you can only get to by wall running. That kind of stuff. If you just throw it in, it's kind of like, oh, well, why didn't you have this when you started? You know?
Yeah, and you have to, like you said, you have to make sure that you have the environment for it too. You can't say here's the ability to wall run and not build the map around it. You can't just say, here you go, like now you can wall run, but there's no, like right now, the spot that we're in, I don't see a place for me to wall run. I don't see a place
Yeah.
that's beneficial for me to wall run.
First blood.
So
Yeah. No, yeah,
I don't know.
it wouldn't be. You'd have to have like in that game in the campaign in Titanfall 2, they had really cool parts on the map where you had to wall run, and they were like these big walls. Like, and you'd wall run on one wall, and then you'd jump to the other wall, and then you'd jump back, and you'd go like almost inverted, and then you'd come down and slide. So like, there's things like that they need to do for sure. I think I got a guy over here.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they will introduce it. I think that the person who leaked it, whether they not be from Respawn or not, they're on the money with that. That is a fact. It's coming probably sooner than later.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it. I think it'll add a different element to the game. You have to be a lot of it comes down to, oh well, that just it creates a gap. No, it's another skill thing. You got to learn it.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. So, uh,
Enemy down.
I do find that I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay with it. I think it'll. But again, if that the hard part is, does that mean that there's going to be a whole map rework?
Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta, like I said, I think you gotta update the map. Maybe not a whole rework, but they probably gotta do a little bit to the map. Maybe it probably would be small, little, tiny like ads. You probably won't even notice. But I think you gotta do something like that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Enemy down. Reloading.
Yeah. So speaking of changes to games, you want to talk about Anthem a little bit?
Yeah. So this one, really, it's more of, I just want to kind of talk about this little bit of it is. So the whole article is about how they're actually talking about boycotting the game by not playing it for a week because the developers came and fixed um, they fixed a bug that dropped too much good loot, I guess, is how they're defining it. So my question, really, this is where I'm coming from is, what defines a bug? Because now people are saying that the game is almost unplayable, that they're not getting enough reward for the time they put into the game. So
Yeah.
was it a bug, or was it the developer saying, hey, we just don't want people to be this good this quick?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They said it was a bug. Who knows if it was actually a bug? But I have friends that at my work that play Anthem, and they were telling me this. I mean, before this story came out, they were explaining to me, when the game first came out, it was great. Like the drop rates were awesome. Like you were really progressing. It wasn't too grindy, but you also weren't like flying by levels. You were able to play the game, and it was rewarding. But now they're like just like completely turned off by playing. Like they just don't want to go back to it because they don't feel like they're getting rewarded for their playing. And that sucks. That absolutely
Yeah.
definitely sucks. And you know what? Like they're saying in this article that they want their the advice they're giving is, if you want to vote, don't play. And they're saying it was like between March. I have it written down here. Maybe not.
Kill leader.
Oh, March 11th to March 15th. They want you
Yeah,
to.
so this week. Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, they want you to not play, which is not going to be a problem for me because honestly, I haven't even thought about picking up Anthem since I started playing it. I went back to it. I think right, like maybe the day after we podcast last week, and that was it. Like I'm just kind of like done with it. I just like until they add something to it, I'm pretty much done for now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to completely shelf it just yet, but I'm done right now. It's not just like they're saying. It's not rewarding to me.
Yeah, it goes. I think it goes back to. This reminds me of when I was playing Destiny 1, and there was a glitch, and it was a glitch because, well, I don't know. Now thinking about it, was it really a glitch? There was a cave that you could hide on a rock, and what were they called? The Fallen, I think it was cave, and you could sit on this rock and just hold down the left trigger and shoot into the cave, and you would just get kills, and then you would see, and then they'd spawn back up, and then you'd keep shooting, and they'd spawn, and like that's all you did. You just sit there and just lay waste to them one after another. As they came out, and you'd get good loot. Like this is how you got good loot. Like people are like, "Oh, well, how do you have a purple engram? How'd you get one?" It's like I spent 20 minutes looking at this cave. That's just what I did.
Just farming.
Just farming.
Yeah.
And so it's not the most fun. It's not the most elegant, but that's it's a loot and shoot kind of game. And think of it like if it's almost like an MMO type of game where that's what you do. You go and you find a spot where they spawn a lot of, and you just keep killing it. So yes, it was kind of a bug, but at the same time, was it really? And I think that this is the same concept. It was an exploit that people found to make good loot, but it wasn't. Like this time, I don't think it was an exploit. This time, people weren't like, oh yeah, hey, if you go to this spot and you do this little dance emote, you get this stuff. And it's like, no, it was, hey, if you just play the game, we're going to give you good rewards, and the rewards are just too good, so we're going to fix that.
Yep.
So,
Which is such a funny way to put it. It's like you fix it. You fix the game, and now people aren't having as fun with it. It sounds like you broke the game. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It sounds like you're breaking the game, not fixing it.
Yeah,
So I don't
and
know.
my second part too, like about all this was, so what are your opinions on, actually,
Hop up here.
see, people always say, vote with your wallet when it comes to a
Yeah.
game. That's right now people are, hey, we're gonna vote with our playtime. I I personally think if you vote with your wallet, it says a lot more than voting with playtime. But I was
Yeah.
curious what you thought. Like, do you think that, like, hey,
Already inside.
we're boycotting the game, we're not going to play? Do the developers really care? They already have your money. So
Yeah, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. No, but I think that in this scenario, they might care a little more because with games as a service having longer shelf
mm,
lives than older games, they want to keep people coming back, and they want people to buy season two. They want that second wave of people buying a $60, $80 piece. They want that as well. So they definitely want to keep their player base happy. So
to be honest, I
yeah,
hadn't
that's
even thought about the whole concept of it being game of a game of a service.
yeah,
So
that's yeah,
that's interesting,
exactly.
huh?
That's why I will eventually go back. I'm talking a big game now. It is a cool shooter, definitely. They just need them to fix some things, so I can better enjoy it, my play style. Uh, because I'm not gonna be the guy who grinds it out and really like puts in a ton of hours into it. So
Yeah,
I
no,
just want to be I want to be rewarded for the small amount of time I do play.
yeah, no, I agree. And so, like for me, I think that I would really enjoy the game. Um, so I don't know why I always want to say by trade. I'm an aerospace engineer. But it's not by trade. I went to school. I didn't go to trade school. I went to actual college. But I always say that.
Yeah,
So I'm an aerospace engineer. So like flying physics, that stuff, I'm all about it, man. And so I've been watching. I've watched people just fly for 30 minutes to an hour, and like that's all I'm watching. I'm like, this is so much fun to watch, knowing how well they did that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
So
It,
I
yeah,
just don't have the
it's
time to invest in that game, unfortunately.
yeah. I think also like that's the other thing too. It's like there's too many good games to just be playing a game that you're having an okay time with. Like I'm having a
Yep.
blast playing Apex Legends right now. Like right now, us playing, and also me like playing when we're not podcasting. I'm having a blast playing it. And they're not paying me to say that. Like I just like playing Apex Legends. It just hits a note with me. It just hits a chord where I just really enjoy it. So yeah, and
Yeah.
so there's way too many games. I have sitting in front of me on my table, right in front of me. I have Wolfenstein 2, which I absolutely
Mm.
adored the first Wolfenstein. I want to play Wolfenstein 2. Like there's too many other games to be playing.
Yeah, no, there's way too many games to be playing right now with to I get that the the business model, is this game of it's a service, and you're supposed to play it over, you know, honestly, years. Think of Destiny. That's the whole point, is that you sit there and you play this game for years.
Yeah.
Um, but when they keep coming, you're not the only developer, you're not the only production company out there. There's other great games. So like, I don't know how
Heavy
you
sort
can
of
just
left.
sit there and be like, look, yep, how you can sit there and be like, look, we want you to stay with us for a year. That's how good we are. No, I just
Yeah.
that's hard. I think that's a hard feat to do. Again, you're
Yeah.
gonna have your niche players who the Destiny players,
Hostile over there.
but at the same time, that's one or two people. That's me being hyperbolic with saying that, but I mean,
We're inside.
so
I really want to get
ah,
a shot off with the triple take. Yeah, there we
oh
go.
man, that guy just lagged a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my idea on the whole, on all that good stuff. But
Oh, we got someone right here too.
Care package
ah,
coming in.
above you, above you, above you.
Oh, right here. Damn.
Punching a tunnel.
I'm down.
So
So
recover.
yeah. So Apex Legends. Anthem. That's that. You want to jump into esports a little bit?
I would love to.
All right.
So
So we're
yeah,
gonna
go
start.
for it,
Yeah,
because
we're gonna start doing a little esports, kind of like wrap up. Kind of like we're gonna frame it like I'm explaining to Ryan about Overwatch League, and he's explaining to me about Call of Duty. It's CWL. What is the acronym there? CWL.
Call of
Call
Duty
of
World
Duty.
League. So it's the same thing.
Okay.
Overwatch League. Oh no, wait. Is it Overwatch World League or is it Overwatch League?
It's Overwatch. It's just Overwatch League. I don't know why because Overwatch is one word. I don't know why they put the W in there.
Oh, that's weird.
I mean that's what I think. I mean I've been yeah. I think it's just Overwatch League. Yeah. Um.
I think you're
So
right.
yeah. So we're going to just back and we're gonna each week we'll recap a little bit. We won't go too far into the weeds on any of this, but we'll talk about it. So in the world of Overwatch League right now. It is. We just wrapped up stage 1, week 4. There's 4 stages total in a
Okay.
season. We're wrapping up week 4 of stage 1, and then there are 5 weeks in each stage. So week 5 started this week, and that'll be the last one before the playoffs for stage 1. After each stage, there's a playoff, and then there's a final playoffs.
Okay, I was really confused. I was trying to read up on a little bit of it, and I was really
Yeah,
confused. I'm like, why are there playoffs already? I thought the season just started. Makes
yeah,
more sense
yeah.
now.
Yeah, so how the playoffs work is the stage playoffs, the first 3, so stage 1, 2, and 3, they take the 2 division leaders, so there's the Atlantic and Pacific divisions, the 2 people that are at the top of each division, along with the next 6 teams in the standing, regardless of division. So that's eight players in the playoffs. It's the final playoffs. In the final playoffs, you keep the same 8-team format, but instead they take the top 2, just like in the regular stages, the next 4, and then this is pretty cool. This is new this year. The the last 2 they add in as the 7th and 8th team into the playoffs. They do a sudden death tournament between the 7th and 12th place teams, and there's 20 teams total. So between the 7th and
Okay.
12th place teams, they do a sudden death tournament. The top 2 from that tournament get to also play in the playoffs for the final playoffs after stage 4. So that's new this year. I'm very excited about that. That's pretty cool. Right now, the New York Excelsior and the Vancouver Titans are just dominating like I haven't seen in Overwatch League, and this is only the 2nd year, but the Excelsior are undefeated at 7-0. The Vancouver Titans are undefeated at 5-0, and it's very convincing wins. Andy from Kind of Funny, Andy Cortez, he made the joke on Twitter the other day that he wanted to start a petition that the New York Excelsior needed to start playing with controllers instead of the mouse and keyboard that they normally use to like make it like even and fair. Which I don't disagree with him. I think it's really unfair. They did this last year, going right into like the inaugural season. The New York Excelsior were head over heels better than everybody else. I mean, they were just dominating teams right into the playoffs. They didn't end up winning the championship, but they just dominated everybody all the way up until the end. So and they're continuing their dominance this year. So
So
my
so
Boston
they're
Uprising.
playing on PC.
Yes, they are playing on PC. Yeah, that's
Okay.
their standard. Yes. Um, yeah, and so my Boston Uprising, they finished week 4 with a win against the Florida Mayhem to bring them to 3-3 so far in the first stage. They have one more match week 5 against the Dallas Fuel, which was supposed to be the one that I was going to this weekend. I unfortunately won't be able to make it. I was able to get rid of my tickets and get some of my money back, which is
Okay,
good.
that's good.
Yeah, I was able to sell them back to the company I bought them from because there was no takers on Twitter, which is weird. Um, so I'm kind of disappointed, but I'll eventually go. So my Boston Uprising 3-3, they could make it 4-3 going into the playoffs, and there's really a tight field after Vancouver and after New York Excelsior. There's a tight field, and I think that really anybody can make these first playoffs. As long as you're not like undefeated or only win. But with a 4-3 record, there's a good shot that Boston makes the first playoffs, and I think if they get into the playoffs, they can make some noise this first playoffs, and then we'll go from there. Last year, it took them a little bit of time to get their wheels under them, So I expect them like maybe this year too. They have a few new players. They lost a few key key players to other teams. So yeah, I'm just excited for the whole season, and they started off decent. I'll say.
Yeah,
That's where
so
we're
so
at with
I
Overwatch
do have
League.
to tell you this. So I because you are into it, I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. I did, and I kind of just looked at the league and just saw what teams are here, and so I was like, well, it's a franchise, so you kind of have to pick a team that's close to you ish, and so
Yeah.
my team actually will have to be the Dallas Fuel.
Okay.
And I saw that the first matchup that I was like that I'm gonna watch live is the Dallas Fuel versus versus the Boston Uprising, and I'm like, oh, this will be good. This will be a good conversation piece at one point.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. We'll get a little rivalry going. I get it. I already kind of like I throw jabs at Andy on Twitter about it because I talked to him. He's pretty into the Overwatch League as well, and he's a big Dallas Fuel fan. So that'll be fun. I like that. I welcome the rivalry. If anybody out there wants to get into Overwatch League, and I already tagged you on this, but I highly suggest watching the Shanghai Dragons. And
Yes.
speaking of the Dallas versus the Dallas Fuel, they played each
Yeah.
other. They played each other in the first game of the fifth week, which of stage one, which just happened. And I mean, the first map, uh, they have an unbelievable exchange back and forth and like sudden death, and it's unbelievable. It's like what Overwatch is really like when it's at its best. That's the kind of matches they're playing. So it was
Yeah, it
that.
was
It was
awesome to
really cool.
watch. That was a
Highly
lot of fun.
recommend. Yeah.
I will highly recommend that if you are into esports at all and you want to just see just like straight coordination skill and a little bit of luck, honestly, at one point, you want to watch that match because it literally comes down to the wire of a single move that they did that I don't think Shanghai Dragons quite predicted properly, and it gave the Dallas Fuel the win. And it was like you're like, wow. And even the commentators like, I don't think they saw that coming. I don't think that's what they expected. And you're like, no, there's
Yeah.
no way, because
Yeah.
it's not what they
Yeah.
had been doing the entire time. So it's like, wow, that was a lot of fun. So,
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
check that out for sure.
oh, yeah.
So
That was a
what
good
about
one.
the Call of Duty World League?
Okay, so like you kind of gave a little bit of background of what it is. So the Call of Duty World League, there's multiple tournaments throughout the year. There's actually first one was Vegas, which the first 4 teams are automatically put into the Pro League, and then they had the next 16 teams are put into the Pro League qualifiers. They actually have to fight for their spot even in the Pro League, and
Huh.
so the the teams, they're fighting for their spot, and so they do that, and then so now you have it's let's see, trying to think of how many teams are there in total. There's 12 teams. Yeah, 12 teams. No, maybe it's 14. I can't remember right now. I can't think of the number off the top of my head that are actually a part of the pro league itself, and so. You have a Division A and Division B, and so they did 2 weeks, and everybody in Division A played everyone in Division A, and then they did a week, 2 weeks, and everyone in Division B played everyone in Division B. Um, I think I've mentioned last time, my team is E United.
Yes.
I like them. That was the first team I ever watched play a Call of Duty match ever, and so I was like, yeah, that's gonna be my team. And so now this weekend, which I was hoping to go to, and my wife and I haven't decided if we're actually going to go down there, but we were going to go to the Fort Worth one since I'm close enough to it. Um, and so now they do these tournaments, which the tournaments don't do all that much when it comes to the pro league. It's more of bragging rights and like a scrimmage, but they make bank. You make bank off these tournaments.
Yeah.
Um, but you also get what's called pro points, and pro points are used to kind of enhance. So each player has pro points, and that's kind of what scores your team when it comes to the actual like final, finals. And
Yeah.
so winning at these tournaments helps you along the way, even if you're not doing so well in the actual pro league. Pardon me. And so the big thing that happened now is this year. they have started talking about franchising next year, which is a topic I kind of want to discuss because you follow the Overwatch League, which is franchised. But because of that, they're allowing what's called roster mania to happen, which is there's a lot more roster changes that can happen throughout the year. And there was one team, Accelerate GG, was so they're all organizations, really, not teams. The organization.
'Cause they all play different. Do
the-
they all play different? Like their organizations? Do they have like a Call of Duty team? Do they have like a
Yep.
like a League of Legends team? That kind of thing. Okay.
Exactly. And so this Accelerate GG team or organization, the owner of it kind of he's young and didn't know what he was doing and didn't do things properly after the whole story came out. He just kind of messed up, and he didn't. There's no way to
Might be something good.
fix what he did almost per se.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he kind of just screwed up a little bit, but at the same time, not all his fault. And so he did that, and so the whole team, he just dropped the whole team. That was the thing. They have the ability. He had the ability to say, nope, you are no longer a pro league team, even though they earned their spot. And so I'm like, man, that is dirty.
Yeah, that is
in my
dirty.
opinion. Yeah, and so they, eventually they all found their ability to get into another team. But still, it made it difficult, and so there's all that going on. More teams shifted. A team that was going 5-2, they dropped pretty much all their team, which I thought that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just kind of what they decided to do. Again, those players all found their own teams and whatnot. So, but besides all that good junk that's been going on there, let's see, where was I? Sorry, I just slid past this dude. Went too far.
There you go. Nice get there.
I just don't know where the other guy went. Okay. I think we killed them all. All right, cool. We killed them all. So I just
awesome.
totally lost my train of thought. But I think it was, I was talking about how these guys he just didn't really know what he was doing, and he just kind of screwed up. But let's see. Hold on. Let me read my notes since I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So the real thing that I want to talk about that kind of ties into all this is the whole franchising. So, what is your thoughts on, like, do you actually enjoy the fact that these guys are franchised, that the teams, you can't just drop players like a hot stone whenever you want to? Is franchising the right way to go about esports? I think that's really my question.
It is very early in esports with like these teams and everything to kind of like figure out like what the future is going to be like, because I think there's so many different like the leagues are created in so many different ways and the rules are so different. But eventually, I think that franchises are kind of like you gotta. I guess what I'm trying to say is, number one, you have to protect your players. I think you can't really. I think contracts are big. Like there was an instance where someone from the Boston Uprising, he was
45 seconds.
not traded, is more released and then re-signed to the Shanghai Dragons. But that was kind of like a mutual thing. Like he knew he was going to the Dragons. He wasn't just getting dropped and then just like left, to like not have a team to play for. So is that kind of like what you mean? Like, do you think it's like tough for the players when the owner can just purge a team if he wants to, that kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. And
Copy that.
along the lines of too, there's so much ambiguity. It's people who are,
the Wild
like
West.
Accelerate GG. Yeah, he was out there to make money. That his whole goal, and he even came out, was, I want to get a team, get them to the pro league, and then I want to sell them. I want to, he didn't want to be an owner anymore. Like and I'm like, cool. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with you saying that that's what you want to do, but you don't just drop your players like that and create this scene of
No, that's not cool.
almost forcing your players. Like he was forcing his players to sign a contract that was bad, they had already signed a bad contract, and so, and he, I'm glad that he kind of manned up and was like, hey, I did make a mistake. I did write a bad contract. I should have gotten help. But it's like a little too late, in my opinion. I deal with contract. That's kind of, I'm an aerospace engineer and I do contracts with the government. That's what I do. So, uh, contracts are very important. And to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna whatever, just wing it. Oh man, I'm like, come on, you gotta be a
Yeah.
little smarter than that.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's just
Yeah.
my issue, and I think and I'm hoping franchising, fixes it. But again, I don't know. That's kind of what I was wondering.
Contact.
So
Yeah, I think it's like it's the wild wild west right now. People can do really whatever they want. There's no regulation. So who knows? I think. Damn, I put 2 shots. And I snuck up. Not playing well this round. Not playing well.
how did I do? Wow. But okay, well, so I'm interested. I'm interested to see what the future holds for like the CWL and the whole franchising and all that good stuff. So it'll be interesting. So
Yeah,
but
I'm excited.
I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this little segment, especially as I'm gonna be watching the Overwatch League more because I really am getting into the competitive esports and how big it's getting. Overwatch is a great example because it is franchise like that. That's a in my opinion that's a step forward. But again, I don't know enough. I'm not a player, so I don't know if that's really beneficial to them or not. And so
Yeah,
I'm interested
yeah.
to see how the CWL takes it.
I also think franchising and the way Overwatch League is doing it is a big step for esports in general. I might have touched on this last week, but for like people to be able to see, okay, this is the Overwatch League. They play Overwatch. It's like a normal like sport. There's playoffs, there's rivalries, there's teams, there's players on teams, and they wear jerseys that have their names on on the backs. Like people
Yep.
get that. They like normal people that are not really into esports. They get that, and it's easy to digest for them. And that's what drew me to it too, because before that, like you were saying, like organizations like Echo Fox or what is the your team, the United.
United. Yep.
They are these organizations that are so massive. They're big. They have a lot of different squads and teams, and you're like, oh, it's kind of confusing. So, franchising and making everything clean cut of where people are playing, what they're playing, and what the format is big for esports. That's what's gonna get people to watch it. Is them understanding them in the
Do you ever
door,
think
and when you
esports
have like
will, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Go with your question.
I was gonna ask you do you think esports will ever be on ESPN?
I don't know if they already. I don't think they. Right. I don't know if they are or not, but they are on TBS. Like I've watched.
They are. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So I've seen that. I think so. Honestly, I read some of my. I mean, Overwatch League does some recaps as well, but I read my Overwatch League recaps on ESPN.
Really?
That's where I watch all my highlights. Yeah. Yeah, ESPN.
Oh, I did not. That's.
It's new. I mean, it's brand new. They have a whole website dedicated to, and I don't know what the website name is, and you can get to it off the main page. It's a little hard to find, but there's a whole. You should check it out. There's a whole esports section of ESPN now.
Okay.
So
I'll
yeah,
look at my ESPN app.
Yeah, I absolutely.
Yeah, they
do
got me.
think that I'm coming to get you. I absolutely do think that it will be eventually.
Huh. That'll be interesting. That'll be cool.
Definitely interesting. I would love to like sit down one day and watch Overwatch or something on ESPN, or like have there be like a tradition like there's football, like on Thanksgiving they play this and this team rivalry, and like I would love to get to that point, and yeah, I think it's coming for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited. That'll be really cool to actually see that that transpire, that actually happen. So
Yeah.
be cool. The future, we have to just wait to see what the future holds.
Right.
So
So I know we kind of touched on it at the beginning of the episode, but I know like we've been talking about. I talked about that I was playing Apex Legends. Do we ever get to you? Like, what have you been playing besides Apex right now?
no, so what I haven't had a lot of time this last week, but when I have had time, I've been playing Call of Duty League Play, which is the competitive. It's all the competitive rules that they use for the CWL, and all the same maps and everything. And they've got a ranking system. But I played and I looked at my app this morning, and the whole last week I went 3 wins and 10 losses. Um, I did absolutely terrible because I had nobody communicating with me, and it was dreadful. And I know we touched on that, like Apex, you can jump in this game, you don't have to have a mic, you can play it without it, and it's awesome. I tried to play Call of Duty competitively, pretty much, and I just got my ass handed to me, and it was, oh my goodness, it was so frustrating. I just kind of quit playing at times, and I'm like, no, I'm just. And again, it was like I had like 30 minutes or so, or an hour to play, so I went and that's what I did. I played 2 games or something. But
Yeah.
that is all I played. I still got, I've got Kingdom Hearts sitting in front of me, and I'm dying to dive into it. But I've got this wall right now of I don't like the button controls, and
Yeah.
because I don't like the button controls, I'm like, do I really want to go? I'm like, I've got to find a way to fix the button layout, and then I will love this game. So I've got to spend the 5 minutes of opening the game up and going, yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna fix the controls, and then I know that I'll be able to dive in. But I heard somebody lately who was like, hey, it's not a game I want to finish right now. I want to savor this game, and I'm like, I do too. And I haven't left the first world yet, and that whole time I was exploring, I was looking at the environment, and I'm like, this is just so cool. Like, I am inside of Olympus, inside of Hercules' world. And that's just cool. I'm a Disney. I grew up watching Disney. I still love Disney, and just being there, it's like that's cool.
That is awesome. I've never played Kingdom Hearts, but I know I definitely would enjoy it. So I will. That is one of the games I eventually will get to. I'll play through all of them, hopefully, eventually.
Yeah, the first and second one are little difficult to get through, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But,
I think that they're.
yeah.
I think the guys on Respawn Aim Fire are having a little issue getting through it as well, right? Isn't that what they said? I think they thought it was longer than it was.
Holden's having an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Chad might be okay with it, but I think Holden's the one who's having an issue with it. So it'll be interesting to hear from them as they continue to play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Very, very cool. So you're gonna start playing Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 3, and
yep.
you're playing Call of Duty. I would love. There's nothing I would like more in this world than to be. Oh, someone ran into the bunker. Don't chase them. I was just gonna chase them with no weapon. Than to be good at Overwatch and to be able to play competitive, because the competitive Overwatch in game is very good and very easy. It's a good. You can how you place and things is. I think he did it very well. But it's just tough. I mean, it's just a very tough game. Oh, man, I am getting.
Nope. I'm down. Oh goodness, they had another guy here.
Hiding. Got the smoke going.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm screwed.
They see you? Are they coming to get you?
Yeah, he sees me. Yeah, he's coming to get me.
Okay, I'm waiting for him to come to me.
But
But yeah, I would love to be
yeah,
good at
no.
Overwatch competitive, but I haven't played in a long time, and at this point, I'd rather watch. They know I'm here. Yep.
Yep. No, and I watching like 1 or 2 games, I was like, man, this game, like, I wish I could get back into Overwatch. I just don't have anyone to play with it really. And again, I want to play it competitively. So the only way to play it competitively, you gotta play with friends or on a mic. So that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But I do, like you said, watching those, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to even play on an amateur team for Call of Duty. But I love going in there and playing that little bit of competitiveness. And it kind of gets my fix. So.
Cool. Well, kind of springboarding off of what you said, like, so you want to play Kingdom Hearts. I like I said, I want to play Wolfenstein 2. I have that sitting right in front of me. I also have No Man's Sky. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar. Have you played No Man's Sky? Are you familiar with it? Their story?
I am familiar with it. I'm familiar with it enough to know that it's a space exploration game, but I don't know. I know it had turmoil, but I don't know what turmoil the game had.
So Hello Games put this out, and Sean Murray is the CEO of Hello Games. He kind of, in interviews leading up to the launch, he kind of promised a lot of things that didn't come out in the game. I won't go into details because I'm beating with a dead horse. But there's a lot of things that were promised, including multiplayer, that didn't come out. Like, and it just wasn't said until you picked up your copy and went home or downloaded it and you started playing and you realized this is not the game that I pre-ordered. It's not what was This is not what was promised to me. So it tanked. I mean, people bought it, people pre-ordered it, so the money was there. Like they got their money, but the game was like lacking. And honestly, like for me, I didn't have an issue with it because I wasn't looking forward to any of the things that were promised anyway. I just was having fun with it on its own. It was kind of just like Farmville, but for space, I guess.
Hmm.
Like you can go out and you can explore planets and you buy ships and you upgrade your ships and you grind out for different types of minerals and things like that. But now
Okay.
the game is totally different. Sean Murray, kudos to him. They stuck to their, you know, they stuck to their game and they stood by it and they used the money that they got to put back into the game and to improve it. And now it's a totally different game. Like when I say totally different, like it was first person. Now you can toggle into third person. You weren't able to play with anybody. Now you can play online with other people and find other people out in space in this procedurally generated universe, which is massive. So I'm excited to check that out. I just wanted to see what that was all about, and I know the people that enjoyed it. They went back to it, so I'm gonna try and go back to it sometime this week.
Huh. That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a game that I think that I would enjoy as well.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a really good that actually sounds like a really good game to play when gaming.
You know what?
That was a terrible slogan.
no, I like where your head's at. I like it. Let's stick to it. But that's a great idea. That didn't even cross my mind. I guarantee this game is on. I think you can get it online for very cheap, like maybe less than $20. So maybe we should look into that. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I will definitely look into that.
Cool, awesome. That'd be awesome.
So yeah. So yeah, any kind of sign off? You wanna anything last words before we end the podcast and continue just chilling and playing?
Yeah, so check us out. We are now on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, right?
Yeah, we got an Apple
All
Podcast.
those
I was
places?
so stoked about that.
Very exciting. Oh, we're getting shot at. Yeah, so and there's a third spot we're at too, right? What is
What's that third one? Yeah, we're on something else. I know so we base off Anchor, and then Anchor gives it to everybody else.
Yeah. So I know importantly, like Spotify's a huge one, and Apple Podcasts, is the godfather of the whole thing. So that is awesome.
And I was excited to see that.
So check us out there. Subscribe.
Right, so crazy way to end.
If you, yeah, I know. If you would like to subscribe there, that'd be great. If you'd like to leave us a comment and rate us, that's even better. So check us out there. Yeah. And if you're listening to us we also stream on Twitch. So if you want to watch what we're playing, what we're playing while we podcast, you can check us out on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/onegaming.
Yeah, and feel free to jump in, and then especially once we're done gaming, once we're done with the podcast, feel free to just send us an invite and let's just play. That's the whole concept we're supposed to be active with our community, and that's what we want. We want you guys to see that we're playing a game and be like, hey, I want to play Apex with them, and so you come and jump on Apex with us. So if you're on,
that's the goal.
Send us an invite right now. If you're not, just know next time I will post it. We post on Instagram on Twitter when we'll be streaming the night of Tuesday. So Tuesdays when we stream, and then we try to release the podcast the next day. So, like you said, you can find us. You know where you can find us, and everything else is in the details of the podcast. So again, thank you guys, and just always remember when you play games, you talk games, you make friends. So, see ya.
Yeah.